why chosen ones isolate themselves is because a lot of times, guys, nobody really understands us and our purpose and the plan that God got for us except us. No, we don't need other people's opinion. We don't need other people's advice when it comes down to our purpose, guys. Some of us might take the advice, but we don't really need that. No, we understand that the majority of people, guys, they're at a low vibration. We understand that the majority of people, they want to give us advice that's not going to really help us. No, we let God in our soul lead us to wise decisions. This is why we isolate ourselves. See, another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves is because we know for a fact that the majority of people, well, I'm going to say nobody has the mind frame as us. Nobody has the confidence. Nobody has the willpower. Nobody has the self-esteem, the drive to want to put out positivity in the world, man. To want to help people out, to want to better ourselves. We have to do that by ourselves. And another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves is because we know for a fact, guys, that it's so many distractions out here. It's just so many distractions out here, guys. It's just the truth. And by us paying attention to those distractions, what it's doing is it's just lowering our vibration. It's still in our frequency. It's still in our energy. We don't have time to be watching TV all the time, listening to, all these different type of, TV shows and all that's just a distraction. On our phones a lot. If it's not our purpose as chosen ones to be on our phone, we're not on it. We're pursuing our purpose, guys. This is why we isolate ourselves, because we know for a fact that a lot of people around us is just a distraction. We know that for a fact. Our sisters, our brothers, our mothers, our dads, our family members, our friends. We know a lot of them is a distraction. But we hang out with them sometimes, but the majority of the time we are on our purpose. When it comes down to purpose, we go alone. This is another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves. Because we know for a fact that we have to pursue our purpose alone. Nobody owe us anything. We have to work for what we want. No, we have a higher calling in this realm. That's one of the main things. We have a higher calling in this realm by God and the universe, guys. Another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves is because we're just naturally more introverted. The majority of chosen ones are introverted. They're not extroverts. Our power, our niche, we really tap in when we are alone. We do our best when we are alone. We grow the most when we are alone. Us as chosen ones. This is facts, guys. We don't need people around us trying to steal our energy. See, we don't need people around us that's going to lower our vibration. We're introverted. We want full responsibility. This is why another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves. We want full responsibility. We want full accountability when it comes down to our purpose in our lives, guys. This is why chosen ones isolate themselves, because we know for a fact that if we put all of our responsibilities on us, all of our choices and decision makings on us, all of our mistakes on us, that we will grow in the end. It's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. This is the truth. I'm telling you. Guys, you guys got to understand, this is why chosen ones, we isolate themselves. We isolate, ourselves, because we know for a fact, man, that nobody understands. Where we really headed. Nobody understands our full potential. Nobody understands us more than us and God. This is where we isolate ourselves, man. We love to be alone, us chosen ones. It doesn't bother us at all. Another reason why us chosen ones, we isolate ourselves is because we know for a fact that we don't need no one else to be with us when it comes down to purpose. We're chosen to do certain things on our own. We invest in ourselves. We do all of this stuff on our own, guys. And it makes us stronger, guys. It makes us stronger. The reason why chosen ones isolate, themselves too, is because we know for a fact that a lot of people, they're not in our life to help us, really. They want to be around us just to leech off of us. See, it's a lot of leeches. It's a lot of narcissists. It's a lot of succubus. It's a lot of Jezebels, witches and warlocks out here that got demonic spirit that just want to drain our energy, that want to leech off of us. They really don't want to help us. See, they want the benefits of they want the fruits of our labor without putting in our hard work, without putting in our hard labor. See, guys, man, this is why we isolate ourselves, because we know for a fact that the majority of people, they just want to take our blessings. They're just around us to just reap the benefits off of what we're doing that's benefiting us. They're not around us just to, encourage us. They're around us just to drain us. We don't need that type of energy. Guys, another reason why chosen ones isolate themselves, guys, is because being by ourselves is so much better. When we're around other people, a lot of times when we talk about stuff, they don't really can comprehend. They don't really understand. They laugh at it. The truth sounds so strange to the majority of people. We had a different wavelength self-consciously. We don't want to be around people that don't really want to understand, that doesn't really want to grow, that doesn't really want, knowledge and wisdom. We don't want to be around those type of people, guys. This is why we isolate ourselves, guys, us chosen ones. And it feels good, man. Ever since, man, I've isolated myself, I've been growing. Ever since I've been isolating myself, guys. I should have done this earlier, but like I said, I didn't know what my purpose was until I tapped in. Then when I tapped in, now I'm standing. I ain't tapping out. I'm staying tapped in, because this is a gift from God, guys. This is a gift from God. Another reason why us chosen ones, why we isolate ourselves, is because we are investing in ourselves. We are constantly investing in ourselves, guys. This is what we're doing. You guys got to understand, man. This is why us chosen ones, we isolate ourselves. We're trying to invest in ourselves, and we're trying to grow. A lot of people now in this generation, they don't want to grow. They want to be stagnant. They want to make excuses. We don't have time for those type of people being around us. That's full of excuses. That's full of, that's leeches. That thing is our job to do, what they're supposed to be doing for themselves. It's crazy, guys. But it's the truth. We have a higher calling. Well, a lot of people, we know for a fact that, this is another reason why we isolate ourselves, because we know that a lot of people are jealous of us. We know a lot of people are envious of us. They envious of us because they don't have the same spirit as we have. They don't have the same, go-getter mindset we have. They don't have the same high-level energy as we do. They're jealous of us, man. Like, it's gonna be so many people hating on you when you are a chosen one, doubting your success, telling you what you need to do, telling you why this is not working, why that's not working, because your success is not taking off when they want it to take off.